Hey guys, Kat Caldwell here. This is my channel Floodlights. Today we are starting our series on Proverbs. So we are going to be releasing a video for every single day. Proverbs has 31 chapters and it is typically seen as like a daily devotional in the Christian world. I do realize that I'm starting this in February, which is the shortest month of the year. Yeah, I didn't really get that, ironically, until last night. So I'll release the last 4 chapters on February 28th so that you can start again March 1st. And I'm going to try to keep these videos shorter than my last ones. But first, click subscribe below if you want to be reminded, notified to listen to Proverbs every single day and get your daily dose of biblical wisdom. So Proverbs is pretty much seen as the book that gives wisdom. Solomon asked for wisdom from God, and he was considered the wisest man, right? So he wrote down his Proverbs, and these are just a list throughout his lifetime of what he saw were pretty basic rules for life. Basically, if you do this, this will happen, sort of things. And so a lot of people read them to just gain some wisdom on how to live their life, how to make certain decisions. And I see this as something that's kind of needed today. It's always needed, of course. Proverbs is a place that I started to go to when I finally decided to read the Bible. When I was coming back to Christianity in the sense of not just believing there is a God, but wanting to find out more about who he was, I found it very daunting to open up the book and, know what it was talking about. So Proverbs was something for me that I could do easily. I could read a chapter a day. And the more I read it, the more I started understanding it. So I'm going to read from the Message simply because it's a fun translation. Honestly, it really puts it into sort of modern speaking, so I think it's a pretty fun translation. And sorry about the glasses, guys, but I gotta have them. The Wise Saying of Solomon, a manual for living, it says. These are the wise sayings of Solomon, David's son, Israel's king, written down so we'll know how to live well and right, to understand what life means and where it's going. A manual for living, for learning what's right and just and fair. To teach the inexperienced the ropes and give our young people a grasp on reality. There's something here also for seasoned men and women. So, those of us who aren't so young. I have still a thing or two for the experienced to learn. Fresh wisdom to probe and penetrate the rhymes and reasons of wise men and women. Start with God. Start with God. The first step in learning is bowing down to God. Only fools thumb their noses at such wisdom and learning. Pay close attention, friend, to what your father tells you. Never forget what you learned at your mother's knee. That kind of goes into how I say, if we could all go back to kindergarten, maybe we'd have a more civil society. Just saying. Wear their counsel like flowers in your hair and like rings on your fingers. Dear friend, if bad companions tempt you, don't go along with them. If they say, let's go out and raise some hell. I love this translation. Let's beat up some old man and mug some old woman. Let's pick them clean and get them ready for their funerals. We'll load up on top quality loot. We'll haul it home by the truckload. Come join us for the time of your life. With us, it's share and share alike. Ooh. Oh, friend, don't give them a second look. Don't listen to them for a minute. They're racing to a very bad end. You'd think so, right? I think most of us would agree that going to, beat up some old man and woman to steal from them is wrong. Of course, it happens. But so don't go with them. They're racing to a very bad end, hurrying to ruin everything that they lay hands on. Nobody robs a bank with everyone watching. Yet that's what these people are doing. They're doing themselves in. When you grab all you can, that's what happens. The more you get, the less you are. Lady Wisdom. Lady Wisdom goes out in the street and shouts. At the town center, she makes her speech. In the middle of the traffic, she takes her stand. At the busiest corner, she calls out, Simpletons! How long will you wallow in ignorance? Cynics! How long will you feed your cynicism? Idiots! How long will you refuse to learn? About face. I can revise your life. This is wisdom speaking. Look, I'm ready to pour out my spirit on you. I'm ready to tell you all I know. As it is, I've called, but you've turned a deaf ear. I've reached out to you, but you've ignored me. Since you laugh at my counsel and make a joke of my advice, how can I take you seriously? I'll turn the tables and joke about your troubles. What if the roof falls in and your whole life goes to pieces? What if catastrophe strikes and there's nothing to show for your life but rubble and ashes? You'll need me then. You'll call for me, but don't expect an answer. No matter how hard you look, you won't find me. Because you hated knowledge and had nothing to do with the fear of God. Because you wouldn't take my advice and brushed aside all of my offers to train you. Well, you've made your bed. Now lie in it. You wanted your own way. Now, how do you like it? Don't you see what happens, you simpletons, you idiots? Carelessness kills. Complacency is murder. First pay attention to me, and then relax. Now you can take it easy. You're in good hands. Isn't that a great translation? So, I think what is great about this sort of introduction to Proverbs is that it really gives you an overview. This isn't going to be an easy study. This is about wisdom. Is Solomon trying to get people of his time and now us to learn things, learn the things that he has learned through study of God and through other studies and his counsel. And, he even says that there are a couple proverbs in here that aren't from him, but things that he has learned from others. And that's really what wisdom is to learn from others. And especially godly wisdom is to learn from godly men and women. And that's pretty much what the Bible is, right? So wisdom is something that you should try to attain. You should always be striving for. If you believe in the Bible, if you believe in God, you should believe that the whole Bible is true. And there are proverbs that you're going to see our society in. You're just going to be shocked at how it so describes where we are as a culture right now. So this is really just setting up. Listen, this whole book is about wisdom. You can either take it or you can leave it. If you leave it, at some point in your life, you're going to cry out for some wisdom, and it's not going to be there. I mean, practically speaking, if you refuse to learn anything, if you refuse to learn how to be wise, if you refuse wisdom from other people, you're not going to have that knowledge in you when something hits you. It's just, you don't download wisdom and knowledge on the fly. You either decide in your life that you are going to be wise and learn from those who are wiser than you, or you reject it. But if you reject it, don't expect to suddenly go running around and getting wisdom from people, mostly because those who you rejected are going to be like, listen, I don't have time for this. Nobody has to stop their whole life for you. But secondly, because you simply can't download wisdom at a rate that you would probably need it in that moment, right? So that concludes our first chapter of Proverbs. And if it is February 1st, I congratulate you. Of course, you can listen to this anytime and read Proverbs anytime. But I will see you tomorrow. We will be studying Proverbs 2. Bye.